Thanks, Michael. Before we conclude tonight's program, I just want to briefly announce that Whitman-Walker is launching an elder law initiative that will be focused on the LGBT community and those living with HIV, with the assistance of an Equal Justice Works Fellow who will be joining us in September. Our fellow is Corey Prachniak, a very talented and dedicated guy who just graduated from Georgetown Law Center. Corey, can you stand up? We expect that many of you will get to know Corey and have the opportunity to work with him in the fall and beyond. And Corey's fellowship is being generously supported by the law firm of Steptoe and Johnson. And I would like to thank Steptoe and Equal Justice Works for making this important step possible. Let's give them a round of applause.
First of all, congratulations to Commissioner Feldblum, NCTE, and SAGE. We appreciate all you've done, and all of you made such inspiring remarks tonight, so thank you. It's been a great honor to serve as a co-chair of this wonderful event, and we thank you all for attending and helping us recognize our exemplary award recipients. We've come to the end of our program, but Pat and I want to ask something more of you, something more of each of you. We recognize that the law firms represented in this room and beyond, and many of you individually, have been very generous in your financial sponsorship of this event, both this year and in many cases for a number of years. With the support we have received to date, we have nearly reached our goal of $185,000. We're just $8,300 short. This financial support is crucial to Whitman-Walker's ability to continue helping those in desperate need of legal advice and representation. And for these reasons, we hope that you'll understand that we want to reach out further, directly, to those of you who have not made an individual personal contribution or who may be willing to increase your contribution.
Thanks, Hal. I told you we'd be getting back to this subject, but I'm going to be gentle. Just a few thoughts for you to consider. I first moved to Washington 30 years ago this summer. Amazing for me to conceive that, but and the city has undergone remarkable change in that time, as those of you who are longtime residents will recognize. Were you to walk down 2 blocks from here to the intersection of 14th and Peace Streets and travel back 30 years ago, that intersection would be unrecognizable to you, I guarantee. And through all those years, Whitman-Walker Health and the Legal Services Program have really been a beacon of hope for so many in our community. And the legal community here in D.C., the business community, and indeed the local government, our city council and mayor, have been longtime supporters of the provision of free legal services in the city. Really peerless as compared to any other communities in the country. But I want to make sure that each of us in this room has thought about tonight our own individual commitment to that effort. Most of us in this room are secure in the knowledge that if we needed to hire a lawyer to help us through a difficult legal challenge, we'd have the ability to put together the resources to pay an attorney for representation. But the clients of the Legal Services Program don't have that comfort. They come to the program for matters that put them in a particularly, or find them in a particularly vulnerable position in their lives. And imagine if you were facing, without the benefit of a law degree or the assistance of a lawyer, the maze of our immigration laws, or discrimination on the job because of your health status, or your gender identity, or sexual orientation, or you were watching your income and your housing disappear because of a disability that prevents you from working. The Legal Services Program depends on the support of people like you and me to provide the staff attorneys with their very modest salaries, to keep the lights on, to pay the rent, and to make sure that the door can remain open in the future to clients in need. Many of you have already been very generous tonight, and for that we are extremely thankful. But for those of you who are here as guests of your law firm and have some personal resources to commit, and those of you who have already given but can see your way to an extra push tonight, our volunteers will be stationed outside of the doors with pledge cards and pens so you can make an additional commitment while you enjoy dessert and coffee outside. You'll also find pledge cards on the tables outside in the reception area. Now, some of us can afford to give more and some less, so we will leave it to you to decide in your heart what is right for you. As a suggestion, as Hal mentioned, you should keep in mind that if 83 people, a fraction of the people in this room, were to contribute $100 each, we would meet and even exceed our goal for this evening. So thank you again for being with us tonight. Thank you for helping us make sure all those who come to Whitman-Walker Health in need of legal services can get the help they need. The desserts are out in the main hall, the bars